So on the one stream, it seems to me there's a danger of a kind of Catholic fundamentalism, all right, that takes lots of different forms, right? Sort of and we see some of it in sort of the culture war stuff worked out in the church. But there is what Pope Benedict called the tyranny of relativism, and a concern that truth now seems to be a matter almost of personal taste or something. Now, so I absolutely agree with you. We have to find a way between those two extremes of an ahistorical understanding of truth that imagines that it just drops down from heaven, and it's not something that we in fact have to patiently learn and receive through prayer and reflection and study, right? And then imagine that there is no truth at all. And that, you're right, we don't want to go down that road also. But see, here's the distinction I would make. So, because I would hate for you to think that I'm a relativist here. I have absolute conviction about the absolute truth of divine revelation. What God reveals to us is utterly without error. Does that follow? That's great. But here's the problem. If the problem isn't on God's side, he's not relativist at all. That's absolute truth. The problem is on our side, because we're the ones who receive that truth, and we receive it as broken human instruments, assisted by the Holy Spirit to be sure, but still trapped in history, trapped in our particular context, striving to use words that inevitably crack, right, and fall short of the sublime truth that we wish to give expression. So we have to, you're right, we have to find that middle way between abandoning the notion of truth and assuming we've got it in our back pocket. Now, perhaps you heard me, react more to the absolute certitude side, and so you're right to challenge me and say, let's just remember that we can't fall prey to an absolute relativism either. But what I'm interested in is the notion of humility before the truth that God reveals to us. The most dangerous words for authentic human discourse are, well, isn't it obvious that? All right? The great Canadian theologian and philosopher Bernard Lonergan says, knowing is more than looking. Really understanding is more than a 30-second soundbite, bumper sticker slogan. Do I believe in divine truth? Absolutely. Seldom does it fit on a bumper. And seldom is it acquired that easily. So what we have to do is not imagine everything's up for grabs, I agree with you, but also not to be too quick to assume we know what's certain and everybody else just needs to get on board with us, because that's also a problem.